Why is iOS 18 going to be such a big deal? Wherever you look on the internet, all you can see is videos about iOS 18 this, iOS 18 that, iOS 18 is coming in June of 2024. What is the big deal? What's up, Lollipop? My name is Joe, and in today's video, we are going to talk about iOS 18 and why it's a big deal that it's arriving this year and how it's going to change the iPhone. The iPhone that's in your pocket right now, the iPhone that we've been using for the past 16 years, I think. It's been 16 years, approximately 16, 17 years. Yeah. It's a big deal. There are multiple reasons people are really talking about iOS 18. Number one reason is that the iPhones themselves, year over year, are getting more boring than ever. The biggest changes that we are getting on these phones are a little bit of camera upgrades, a USB-C, and minor design tweaks. But iOS, my friends, that runs the show. Whenever you interact with your phone, iOS is the number one thing that you use. iOS defines iPhone. It is part of its existence. As much as the design, iOS builds the character of this device. That's why it is very, very important for Apple to make the operating system always work perfectly, seamlessly, effortlessly, and they try to do that. That is why when we are coming for a little bit of a design change and feature changes in such an important piece of the puzzle of the iPhone, it's a big deal. The number one thing that is going to change is AI, and AI is coming to Apple. We've noticed this in the iPad event that has just passed on May 7th. And yeah, Apple has actually said the words AI live on stage or on virtual stage, or not live, but you know what I mean. They said AI, and they are saying AI for over half a year now that it's coming. So just the investors are happy. But in other aspects, it is coming. In a way, it was always part of iPhones and iPads and Macs with machine learning. That's Apple's way of saying AI, machine learning. They never really wanted to use AI, but now they are going to use AI. Your iPhone is going to be smarter. It's going to be recognizing objects. We saw a glimpse of what this could be in the iPad event when they were showing off the Final Cut Pro application and how the Final Cut Pro application can remove subjects from a video from their background. Yeah, that's AI. So they're going to introduce a lot of applications that will be a lot smarter than previously, which will all benefit us. And this is thanks to AI. Another big thing that is coming with AI is obviously Siri. Siri is going to be a lot smarter. Now, don't forget, the first smart assistant in a phone that was produced in volume was Siri. Siri was among the best when it came, and then it quickly got beat by everyone else on the playground. Now, Siri really needs a little bit of a boost, and it's getting it. Thanks to iOS 18, we're going to be able to talk with them more casually and not like a robot. It's going to understand us more. It's going to have conversational awareness, which is fantastic. So AI is great, and it's not just going to be in iOS 18, but iPadOS 18, which is almost the same. But iPadOS 18 needs to hit. And I know I'm considering iOS and iPadOS the same thing, but they will be diverging, hopefully, this year. Because so far, an iPad is just still an iPhone with a large screen, all because of the software. Now, I understand Apple doesn't want to cannibalize its Mac sales by creating an iPad which can run macOS, but it needs to design an operating system for the iPad that is specific, that is actually an iPad OS, because right now it's still an iOS, but big. So the divergence of iOS and iPad OS finally, hopefully, will happen with iOS 18. A more visual thing that you will be able to see is the design. We don't get design refreshes often. We got it when it wasn't a redesign, but we got a new design with the first iPhone. Then go all the way to the iPhone 5S with iOS 7. We got a redesign, and that's it. We had basically one redesign in the entire lifespan of the iPhone. We had two designs, a skeuomorphic and the modern that we're rocking right now. It's time for a change. New products have arrived. Which product, you might say? Well, the Apple Vision Pro. And Apple Vision Pro has its own unique style. It is more of, well, the aqua vibe of the Macintosh operating systems that we had before, and it's more glass, it's more see-through, it's more transparency is in front. The iOS 18 operating system will inherit a lot of those features, and it's going to combine. Finally, Apple is going to combine every operating system it has to look very similar. And this is the newest operating system that they built out, which is Vision OS. So everything else is going to follow that. And finally, iOS 18 is a big deal because when iOS 18 comes out and developers get their hands on them, then is the time when you find little snippets of codes. And those little snippets of codes tell us what to expect for the new iPhones. iPhone 16, 16 Plus, 16 Pro, 16 Pro Max. Maybe there's something hidden in the code over there that they forgot to take out, or it's already implemented or baked in so much they cannot take out, that will give us a more direct clue on how the new iPhone is going to look like in September, what new features we can expect, what else is coming. So, in essence, iOS 18 has to be good for Apple, because in the previous years, we've seen minor changes. It was bug fixes, basically since iOS 7. They've been fixing all the things in the operating system, adding minor features. And this year there's news that the iPhones are not going to be so exciting. So what is going to be exciting is a new operating system, which is iOS 18. And it's going to have features that are fantastic, but are software locked to different iPhone models. You will not be able to have, for example, such a smart Siri on an older generation iPhone, making you someone who needs to upgrade, because if you want the latest and greatest features, then you need to buy the latest and greatest phone. Exactly like what they did back with the iPhone 3G, 3GS, or 3GS I'm not sure, but 3G definitely. When multitasking came out on the iPhone 4, the 3G didn't get it. Why? Because they couldn't handle it. But then they jailbroke the device and it was perfectly able to handle it. Apple likes to software lock special features. And it's exactly what it's going to do with iOS 18. And that's why you will have to upgrade to the newest phones. This is how it works. This is how Apple makes its money, right? So when they ask you why iOS 18 is a big deal, you can tell them it's going to have AI. It's going to have a smarter Siri. Hopefully, it's going to diverge. iOS and iPad are going separate ways. And it's going to get a new design. The new Apple Vision Pro OS design.